Welcome back to Horror with Nadia, and today I'm talking about my top 10 recommendation for the Halloween season. This will range from kid friendly to, well, not so kid friendly. And this was a very hard list to put together, especially to keep it to 10, but I think I have a great mix here. So if you've seen any of these or have any recommendations, please leave a comment below. And also hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 500 subs by Halloween. I am so close. I might have to start a new goal starting the first week of October. But that being said, let's get into it.
Your favorite girlfriend, Elvira. Get ready for a creepy new show of supernatural fun, The Ketchup Vampires. Narrated, of course, by me.
All right, we're going to start off with number 10. Number 10 is The Ketchup Vampires, rated G. This straight to VHS movie was narrated by the queen herself, Elvira, in 1995. The tale is of a vegetarian vampire. Yes, you heard that right, vegetarian vampire. And I'll let you guess what they eat by the title in 3, 2, 1. Tomatoes. This movie is actually fully available on YouTube, though the quality isn't the best. It's a family-friendly story of a vampire named I believe it's Pino is how you say his name, and his family living in a castle owned by a scientist and his granddaughter Bella. When an old school Transylvanian vampire comes to town, shenanigans start. It's a cute little animation movie. If you have small ones and want to get them into the Halloween season, this is a great start.
She lives in Halloween Town, where it's Halloween all the time.
Halloween is cool.
Well, battling an evil shadow creature is just not normal.
Number 9 on this list is Halloween Town, rated G as well. And if you're a 90s kid like me, you grew up watching the Disney Channel. You know every month they would have a movie, and one of those movies to stand out is the 1998 Halloween Town. Halloween Town is Marty, a girl who finds out that she comes from a family of witches, and the only place where supernatural beings can live a normal life is a town called Halloween Town. Not only finding out on her 13th birthday that she is a witch, but her family then is involved in a fight against evil that's threatening to take over the world. It's charming, it's adorable, it's fun. This movie is definitely for all ages, so it's family friendly. And sometimes as an adult, I can revisit it. The sequels don't really live up to it. They aren't terrible, but however, nothing is going to beat the original.
I'm happy, darling.
Oh, yes. Yes, completely.
Now, number 8 on this list is the 1991's Addams Family, rated PG-13. While there have been many different adaptations of the Addams Family, including the latest Netflix Wednesday, to me, however, nothing beats the Angelica Houston Paul Jula as Morticia and Gomez Addams. And while the rating for this is PG-13 with some adult themes that will go over kids' heads, for instance, Morticia and Gomez's very fiery, touchy relationship, this movie has been played every Halloween season in my house. It has Christopher Lloyd playing Uncle Fester. It has Christina Ricci as Wednesday, directed by Barry Sonfeld. And the music, once you hear it, it will stick with you for the rest of your life.
Monsters.
We're the Monster Squad. What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
They're young.
Now, the number 7 spot on this list belongs to a movie that is literally, I have no joke, played every year, and sometimes I revisit it outside of Halloween season, and that would be the 1987's Monster Squad. Now, the Monster Squad, if you haven't seen it, it's about a group of 12-year-olds who form a Universal Monster Club called the Monster Squad, and then they have to face off to save their hometown from Dracula and monsters when they show up for real. If you have teens or preteens looking to get into more monster-esque movies, this is a terrific start. Has amazing effects for the monster designs, and Monster Squad to me is sometimes not mentioned in a lot of these lists, but it should have a prime spot. It's goofy fun, it has scary enough moments for young ones, but just the right maturity for adults to enjoy it. This is a great choice for any family movie night during one of those cold, crisp fall nights during the Halloween season.
He finds they've got a lot more power
Bring it to me!
than he ever imagined.
Now, number 6 belongs to the 1990 Witches, not to be confused with the 2020 remake. And by the way, this is rated PG. The 1990 Witches will stay with you long after the credits roll. It's one of the first movies to scare me as a child with the creepy design of the witches, and it has the beautiful Angelica Houston again, starring as the main villain in this movie. The movie takes place of a story of a young boy who gets turned into a mouse as he stumbled across a witches convention, finding out that they're going to be turning children into mice just like himself. All in all, it's a great watch every year. It still gives me the icky creeps every time I see the witches, and to me, it shows that you don't need a movie to be rated PG-13 or R to really grasp some aspects of horror.
Them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice.
Now, number 5 belongs to 1988's Beetlejuice, rated PG 13. With the recent sequel out, and if you want to know more on my thoughts on the sequel, I did a live stream on it. I'll link it in the description below. It would be wrong of me not to include the 1988's classic Beetlejuice, which I've always pointed out I've loved more than Hocus Pocus in the Battle of Halloween movies. Starring Keaton as Beetlejuice with a full cast of Winona Ryder, Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin, Catherine O'Hara, and Jeffrey Jones. Beetlejuice is fun for all ages, while the pranky, wild effects will entertain the young ones. The more darker adult humor will get a chuckle out of those who understand what a 401k is.
It's not going to be cheap. Although I do want it for a 6-month guarantee.
Now, number 4 on this list belongs to the 1996 The Frighteners, rated R. And I feel no one really talks about this movie, as it was directed by Peter Jackson. Yes, that Peter Jackson. Starring Michael J. Fox as Frank Bannister, once architect, now turned exorcist of evil spirits. When more people start dying off in the small town where he lives, he has to piece together this supernatural mystery as he falls in love with one of the wives of a recent victim and deals with a crazy FBI agent played by the amazing Jeffrey Combs. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. This movie has horror, comedy, tragedy all mixed in one. I really think it was before its time, and while it deals with some heavy topics, Fox's comedic timing helps lighten the mood. If you haven't seen it, go now. Stop this video, go watch it now.
One night,
Don't forget your costume.
all sorts of things roam free.
Number 3 on this list belongs to 2007's Trick or Treat, rated R. A movie that is set where there are interwoven stories that demonstrate that some Halloween traditions are best not forgotten, as residents of a small town go up against ghosts, goblins, werewolves. Actually, if you name it, it's probably in this movie. Each of these tales demonstrates some sort of consequences by disrespecting Halloween traditions in some gory, horrific outcome. And we all can say this together that Sam is probably one of the cutest little ghouls we've ever seen. Stars like Anna Paquin, Brian Cox, Dylan Barker are in this. Now put the kids to bed, pop Trick or Treat in, and this will be one of the movies where you're really rooting for the bad guy in this.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago.
Now, number 2 on this list is the 1978's classic, Halloween. What hasn't been said about John Carpenter's classic, 1978's Halloween? The movie started one of the biggest horror franchises. You just have to say Michael Myers, and people will either assume you're talking about the actor or the murderous character that escaped from a mental institute to wreak havoc on some babysitters. Jamie Lee Curtis plays one of the most iconic final girls in history of slashers, and Halloween is one of those movies you'll understand immediately the hype around it once you see it.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
Now, number 1 on this list belongs to 1996 Scream. Directed by Wes Craven, Scream is one of the most iconic pop culture movies, dare I say, of all time. If you haven't seen it, you know it still. The plot is relatively simple. There is a killer on the loose targeting Sidney Prescott and her friends on the anniversary of her mother's murder. Its use of marketing of Drew Barrymore at the time, who was the biggest star on the list, to only kill her off within a few minutes of the opening was a surprise to the audience. And love 'em or hate 'em, the Scream franchise continues to be one of the most popular slasher franchise to this day. Put this on, but if your phone rings during it, don't answer it. And that's it for my top 10 Halloween recommendation for the season. What would you add to the list? Have you seen any of these? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, stay spooky.